good afternoon, family. It's your DC dude. And right now, family, I'm in the Shaw neighborhood, sitting on 7th Street Northwest. It's the 1800 block between S and T Street, right before you get to U Street. And we're sitting here today, family, because we're going to do something different. We're going to step off of the wards for a second. There are 8 wards, and we've covered 4. We've covered wards 5 through 8. I'm excited to announce that I'm about to start a series that I call Dining with That DC Dude. And believe me, we will get back to the wards. Since COVID, I've gone from doing Grubhub as a side hustle to it being a full-time job, and also during COVID, I watched restaurants have to transition and people weren't allowed to dine in restaurants. So restaurants have had to adjust. So the whole time I was doing Grubhub, I watched them transition. And the restaurants that transition well, in my opinion, are the ones that kind of held Grubhub and Uber Eats and DoorDash as a thing of importance, not secondary, They had systems in place, for that thing. Some restaurants I walk in with the Grubhub bag and they look at me like I'm from another planet. Like, what can we do for you, sir? What order? They start looking through their little tablet or the phone. Oh, fire up, they didn't even start cooking it, And then other restaurants were on point. They might even have a dedicated person to it. So when COVID hit, they would step that game up. They were already good at it, but they stepped that game up even further. They would have a table out, somebody, like I said, a dedicated person at the table, and have a shelf system where they label Uber Eats and DoorDash, and and it made it smooth. You got your order quickly. They treated us like we were sitting in the restaurant and we were important, and even more than that, the customer who was ordering the food was important. I thought it'd be a good idea to shine a light on those restaurants. So the one we're going to highlight today is called Halfsmoke. Halfsmoke is on the corner of Georgia and Florida Avenue. It's right where 7th Street is right here. I'm sitting on 7th Street, and 7th Street is going to turn into Georgia Avenue. So it's right there on the corner where, I don't know if you remember, where Popeyes used to be. And it's right across the street where the go-go music plays, and it was ground zero for the Don't Mute DC movement that happened. We're going to go in and check it out. So it's owned by a young brother named Andre McCain. There was a story I read about. I don't know a lot about it other than doing Grubhub. I haven't even eaten there before. All I know is when I walk in there, it was cool to me that a restaurant was dedicated to Halfsmokes, and the toppings look fresh. You know what I mean? It wasn't like walking up to a hot dog stand. It was like a pretty nice restaurant that was all about the Halfsmoke, which I thought was really cool. So I'm excited to see that. The story I read about, unfortunately, was a sad story of a young man named Kevin Reed. A young man named Kevin Reed who was murdered senselessly. He had closed the restaurant that night, used public transportation to get home, got off at Minnesota Avenue subway, and was later found shot to death in an alley. This young man had 3 kids. One on the way that was due in August. This just happened, family, on June 11th, 2020. He was dedicated to Halfsmoke. He started there as a dishwasher. He went on to become a line cook. Then he went on from there to become a front of the house manager. Then he became a manager of the store. Incredible story. 4 kids left behind. In any case, we're going to make this a positive experience because I went in there the other day and I said, I got to come back. They have not only adjusted to maintain, but they are showing growth. They actually, since COVID, they opened up a restaurant within a restaurant called Butter Me Up. They called it a breakfast sandwich pop-up. I don't know about you, family, but I'm hungry, and I'm ready to get in here and see what's good. Y'all ready to do this?
I can't complain.
I came back here. I could have come back. I was here yesterday doing Grubhub.
Oh, what you doing? DC, dude, I'm getting ready to put you into the system. That way we can let you know if anybody contacts us and let us know that they have COVID. We want to reach out to you, okay?
You know what? That sounds like a plan.
All right.
That sounds like a plan to me.
I just need to get your number.
Family, my order is here. I ended up getting a sausage called Fight for Old DC. It has Italian sausage, fire braised pork, bacon, marinara sauce, peppers, and caramelized onions. So that's it, family. I hope you enjoyed the visit to Halfsmoke. I gotta say that I really did enjoy my visit, family. The staff was warm from the beginning, courteous. You could tell they have a love for their job as well. They have games that they play, you know, Uno and things like that you can get involved in. So my only concern had nothing to do with the restaurant. It was that DC Dude production. Because whether I used the microphone or not, I could not capture the sound. Like, it was just too much background noise and restaurant music, and not to mention the wearing of the face mask on top of that. You couldn't hear a word we were saying. And I was disappointed in that because it was good dialogue. It would have given everybody an opportunity to see how good my server Mackenzie was. She gave great suggestions. She told me all about the games that they play in there. I just wish that I could have captured that sound. So what restaurant are we going to next? Well, I suggest that you click on the notification bell and you will be the first to know. And as always, if you want to ride, just click on subscribe.